What's up, guys? How you all doing? Hey, welcome to another Maker Monday. This Monday is going to be a little more chill. I'm going to be talking more about what's going on, what has been going on more rather. But anyway, unless you guys haven't come out, I saw a few of you there. We did it. We did the Maker Faire. The Maker Faire. Oh, this year was a good year. We had the Wichita Mini Maker Fiare. Been talking about that. I apologize to you guys. I wasn't able to live stream it. It was crazy. There were so many people out there. I mean, it was absolutely unbelievable. There was a ton of people. I am so tired from doing it, but it's a good tired. It was fun. Had a little bit of a disappointment. My big printer, I brought my TiVo Little Monster, and I brought him out there, and he just did not like going to Maker Faire. I printed one thing with it and then it clogged. And I brought it home, I cleared the clog that was in the extruder, just using a drill bit, you know, and very gently drilling out the plastic, as well as using an air tool for a whatever it is, for an air compressor, and blowing out any bits and pieces of anything that were in there, as well as, believe it or not, some 32 gauge wire. If you get solid 32 gauge wire and you strip it out, or if you have a piece of like probably 16 gauge wire that's stranded, if you pull one of the strands out, that's about 0.4, it's a little smaller than 0.4 millimeters. That helps a lot if you have any type of let's say debris get caught in the tip of the head of the printer. That's a little trick that I learned on my own. You can take that, and if you turn the heater on, what I do is I take it out and I put it on one of my bench power supplies and very gently turn it up to about, at least the heater that's in the TiVo, I can get it to about an amp and, I don't know, a quarter or so, 1.25 amps. Something like that. Just turn the voltage up till you get to about 1.25 amps going into it, and let it sit there and get hot, and then you should be able to take that and poke that little piece of wire in there, and it should poke the plastic out, okay? And then I usually let it cool down, and then I run the drill bit a little bit. And you have to be careful with when you're doing a drill bit, especially if you have a metal drill bit. You don't push real hard, otherwise you'll actually drill into the metal, which isn't too big of a deal, but the problem is it leaves metal shavings, which then, when the plastic goes through, can clog it yet again. So you got to be careful that you don't reclog your unclogged tip. Yeah, anyway. So that's what I do. I take that little piece of wire and push it through that little pinhole that's in there, that 0.4 millimeter hole, and that usually can clear it out once you heat it up. So that's a little trick. If you get a clog, clogs are a pain. You pretty much have to disassemble the extruder to get it really all the way out, because otherwise the plastic, what happens is the plastic gets stuck, the extruder keeps pushing it, and the plastic actually goes up and around the sides. So like if this is the filament, my finger's the filament, it actually melts down here and squirts up the sides, and then it sticks all to the sides, and then it pretty much sticks the filament in there and you can't do anything with it. So the best is to just get a drill bit that's as close to 1.75 millimeters, preferably a little bit smaller. I can't remember what, because I used a standard drill bit, so I can't remember what actual size, but a good helper, calipers. Check it, test it, look at the size of your drill bit, and then just very gently, with barely a little bit of speed on the drill. In fact, set your drill to like the low speed setting, and then just be very careful with it and drill that out. Because again, if you cut into the metal, you can actually leave metal filings inside the hole, which those filings will, not if, they will get stuck in the head and basically cause it to clog all over again. So you want to be careful with that. So anyway, I went through that and cleared the clog, took it back, and since I had to reassemble it, I have to recalibrate it, and then I took one of my laptops, didn't work right. I mean, it just, if it could, it would fail, right? And so the laptop wouldn't take the Repetier software, and Repetier software I couldn't get to work right, and so I finally just scrapped it. I went with my tried and true, always working, never has failed me, Wanhao Duplicator i3, which you guys have seen in many videos, which is my little Cartesian printer instead of that big Delta. And I keep pointing that way because it's literally on the shelf right there. I gotta clear it out and redo some stuff. I ordered a new tip and stuff for it, so I think that it might just be shot. So, and they're cheap enough, I'll just replace it, no big deal. But so it'll be out of commission for a few days till I get the new parts. But anyway, I brought out that little Cartesian one and I 3D printed all kinds of stuff, and people were, you know, enjoyed all of the 3D printing and whatnot. So it was great. So if you missed the first day, I apologize. There was, if you came in the morning, if you had come in the morning on Saturday, I did have it printing. It was printing and was doing very well, but it was on the second print, it decided that it would clog, so it didn't work. So anyway, so I apologize for those of you who came in the afternoon. They weren't able to see one of my printers printing, but if you came back the next day, you could see it doing it. But not to fear, even if you weren't there. I did make my rounds and take some video with my 360 camera here. I went around and videoed that whole deal, so that should be really awesome. I'll be putting that video out. I'm hoping that I'll be able to have it edited and out by Wednesday of this week. So hopefully I'll throw it on the computer, get the video all edited and everything, and you'll be able to check out Maker Faire in 360, or at least the Wichita Maker Faire in 360. So that ought to be pretty darn neat. Also, you can check me out. You can actually see me and see some of our booths if you go to Facebook and look up the Wichita Mini Maker Faire. They have their own Facebook page, and they just released a video. I'm in the video, my 3D printer's in the video, plus a whole barrage of people. We had a lot of makers. This is only the 5th year that they've done it. I've been at it for the last 2 years. But it's growing and growing and growing. From the first time they went, we now have, we had 70 makers there this time, which I think last year we had less. So we keep on growing by leaps and bounds. And in fact, I even had a guy ask me what it took to get into to Maker Faire and be able to present and stuff like that. So I told him, and he's even thinking about coming next year. I think he does metalworking or something like that. It was a lot of fun. If you're a creative person, I want to challenge you all to look at Make Magazine's website or wherever and find out if your community has a Maker Faire. And I would challenge you to at least go to it, and then once you go to it, check and see if maybe you want to present some of your ideas and some of your stuff at your local Maker Faire, because they are just a lot of fun. You get to connect with a lot of people like mine. Personally, my personal one, they have social gatherings and whatnot. The local makerspace that's here in town puts on a little social time where you get to talk with each other and stuff, and you just make some really cool connections and get to talk to a lot of people that do a lot of really cool stuff just like yourself. So anyway, I challenge all of you to check out a Maker Faire, if not only check it out, but also present in one, because it is a lot of fun. It's a great way to connect to your community, and it's a great way to find other makers in your community that will work with you perhaps on projects. And there could be some. There's a couple of guys that I met that they were excited to maybe do stuff. So you might see some collaboration videos between me and some of those makers maybe in the future. So that's something to look forward to. Also, I'm going to be going on vacation this next week. Me and my family, we're finally going to go far away and whatnot. So I'm hoping that it'll be a good time. Should be wonderful. I'm looking forward to it. So not a lot of videos are going to come out next week. So I should have stuff in stock, but I don't. I'll see if maybe I can film some stuff this week so I can then schedule it for release next week, and then that way you guys will at least have some videos to chew on during the week that I am gone. But if not, don't fear, I'm not gone. I'm still here. I'm just resting. I'm going to take a big rest because it was a lot. That's why the past couple of weeks I haven't posted much, is because I've been just working on Maker Faire. If you follow me on Twitter, which I suggest that you do, I post kind of what I'm doing in picture form and whatnot. I should do more on Instagram since it's more geared towards pictures, but I don't. But anyway, if you check it out, check me out on Twitter. I usually try to post, some things. And now with the new posting feature on YouTube, I try to do that more. So hopefully you guys have seen that. If you haven't seen my posts on YouTube, but yet you are subscribed to me, I would suggest that you go ring the bell. I bet you the bell icon is not done. So go down there right now. It's like over here, I think, somewhere. It says subscribe if you're subscribed. If not, push that subscribe button. But also make sure you click the little bell icon that's next to it, because that way then you'll get notified. And when I publish videos, you'll get notified. And when I publish just a post of some sort, letting you guys know what's going on, you'll be able to see that. So definitely make sure you check that out. So let's see, other upcoming videos. I got some pretty cool stuff planned. I think I'm going to try to go for making a wind turbine and 3D printing it all. I want to do more 3D modeling videos. That was a request at Maker Faire, was 3D modeling. They asked me a lot if I do 3D modeling. I can only think of a couple of videos that I did 3D actual sit down and do 3D modeling and give you guys. So I may have more of that in the pipe because that was kind of a request between people, because a lot of people said, you know, they can download stuff and that's really cool, but they really don't know how to actually make it themselves, because they may want to alter it or make it better, or just flat out make their own thing that comes out of their head. So I may do more videos on that. I think that'll be coming up. Questions I had. I say the main question that I had was really revolved around 3D printing. 3D printing was probably the centerpiece of it all. I showed off quite a few things, as you'll see in the video once I upload it. But I did quite a few different things out there, but 3D printing, I don't know, there's something about, and there is, I don't know, you guys can join me in this, there's something about 3D printers that's just mesmerizing. I don't know why. I still, to this day, sit down and just kind of watch mine print. It's just amazing that they can do what they can do, you know, right? But they asked me a good printer to get started with, and I would suggest, if you're getting started in 3D printing, I really would suggest that Duplicator i3. It's been cloned a lot here lately, so there's, I think Monoprice has literally the exact same printer, but it's the Monoprice something or other, but it's basically just rebranded. It's the same thing. Amazon has it too. I think they have it's not a Wanhao, but it is. It's the same exact design. It's the same printer. But I would highly suggest that. It's around $300 US, 350 bucks, I think US, something like that. So it's not bad. Basically, like I was telling people, because their kids were wanting to, you know, have one to play with, and I said, well, it's the same thing as like a PlayStation 4, you know, right? Or a Nintendo Switch, right? I mean, those are all around about 300 bucks, right? So it's the same as like buying a gaming system. You could buy them something that they can create with, that they can, you know, craft things with, that they can come up with all kinds of cool stuff. And pretty much all the software is free, right? You know, you can get Tinkercad, you can get lots of different software. Oh, there was one that a guy mentioned to me. He said was really into Sculptress. I've never heard of that, so I was going to look that up. So those of you that may have used that, let me know down in the comments. He was telling me that it was super intuitive and very easy to use. So I'm going to definitely check that out. I may even do a video about it because he was telling me that it was really impressively simple to use for beginners in sculpting and things like that. Now, I'm guessing since the name is Sculptress, it's more sculptures and stuff, whereas if you're wanting to dimension things to actually build parts for stuff, something probably like Tinkercad or Fusion 360 or something like that would probably be the more thing, because you can apply measurements. But I don't know. I have not used Sculptress yet, so I don't want to prejudge. I'm kind of doing that right now. So anyway, it might have that ability, but anyway, I figured that it's probably, nonetheless, it's very good for making figurines and just getting you started in thinking in 3 dimensions, you know, so. But I would highly suggest the Duplicator i3. That is a very good printer. Like I said, I literally just took it out of the box, put the 8 screws in it that attaches the top frame to it, leveled the bed, and pushed print. And that's literally it. That's literally it. Well, put the plastic in it, but you know what I mean? But put the plastic in it and push print. And it's been printing ever since. And I've never had the only problem, I will say one thing, I about said I never had a problem. I did have one, and it was the thermistor in the bed died. But those 100K thermistors, they're everywhere. In fact, I just bought a pack of like 10 of them from Amazon for like $8. Like they're dirt cheap, and you just buy them, and then they already come with the ends crimped on them and everything like that, and you just change it out, and that's all I did. I just swapped it out, and it's printing like a champ. So no problem at all. So those do tend to break after a while. It's just, there's just no good way to strain relief them, I think, in my opinion, the way that they come made. So I mean, I'm sure there's ways and stuff. They're so cheap that screw it. I'll just have a pack of 10 of them. If it breaks, throw it away, put another one in. It'll run for another, you know, 200 or 300 prints, and then it'll break it all. Just replace it with another one. They're cheap enough. I really don't care. I don't worry about, you know, strain relief. It's no problem. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for all you guys' support. Thank you so much for coming out. Those of you that there's a few of you actually that were like, yeah, we watch your videos, we've seen you before, and one of them I thought was really cool. One of you guys, hopefully you're watching right now, you know who you are, said that they watched one of my 3D videos, long ago video, when I made a case for a piece of electronics. That they watched that in their school, in their high school. So that was really awesome. That made my day, by the way. That was really cool that a high school showed that off. That was pretty cool. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for the support. This is probably long enough. Where are we at? Yeah, we've gone long enough. So anyway, guys, just wanted to give you a quick update. I'll probably just throw this up. I probably won't do very much editing on it just because I am tired. I am really tired. I had to go back to work today, and I'm still dragging. So I think I'm going to go to bed early tonight. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this Maker Monday. Thank you so much for all your support and everything that you help me with here on the channel. Hit that like button. That really helps things out. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Got some cool stuff in the pipe being at Maker Faire. It's another reason to go to Maker Faire. It gives you ideas. I got a lot of really cool ideas, and I wrote them down this time. So cool stuff coming up on the channel. Hopefully looking forward to another great year of different projects and things. Like I said, I got a lot of ideas. Just gotta get them done. So anyway, guys, look forward to talking to you on the comments, and make sure like, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Follow me on all of the social medias. They're down there in the description. And with that, guys, that ought to do it. We'll see you next time.